I appreciate it. Good afternoon. It's great to be here at my first ACC Football Media Days. This means the sights, sounds, and pageantry of college football is right around the corner. We're really excited to get our preseason camp kicked off next week, and really it's going to set the table for our 2025 season in a really, really successful way. I want to start by giving a big thanks to Commissioner Phillips. Since I joined the league back in December, he's been a tremendous advocate for the ACC, our 17-member institutions, and most importantly, all of our student athletes. I think we all have a shared responsibility to protect the future of this game, and Jim's obviously got a big part to play in that. I want to thank the media that are here today. While a lot of the conversations nationally are about schedules and settlements and NIL, I just really appreciate keeping the spotlight and the main focus on the players. These are the guys that have the stories, the growth, and the journey that I think makes college football really, really special, and I thank you for that. I want to thank our president, Susan Wente, and our director of athletics, John Curry, for their belief in me and the future of the Demon Deacon football program. I want to publicly congratulate President Wente on her appointment to the chair of the ACC Board of Directors, a tremendous honor and a testament to her credibility and leadership. Today, I'm honored to stand in front of you to represent Wake Forest University, our world-class student athletes, our faculty, our staff, our alumni, and everyone that supports the old gold and black. We are the winningest football program in the state of North Carolina this century. We're the only one in the last 40 years to win an ACC championship. We have 19 players that are going to start their NFL journey this fall. Just excited to build on the success that's been laid before us. To me, college football is the greatest sport on the planet. This game has given me so much. 17 years ago, I was a Division III graduate assistant. I've had an opportunity to work my way up every level of college football, and my journey has been really special and unique. And for that, in this game, I'm very thankful. Officially, it's been 217 days since I've been hired in late December. And from the very first moment, we hit the ground running. We built a tremendous staff. We brought in 43 new players, 8 from the high school ranks and 35 from the transfer portal. Our transfer portal guys bring in 17,000 plus career snaps of experience to our football team. Quickly, we created a vision, we established a standard, and we laid a foundation for what Wake Forest football is going to be like now and into the future. Our players have done a tremendous job of buying into that standard and working hand in hand daily to build the culture of this football team. Since January, we have lived by a process we call Built in the Dark. Built in the Dark is a belief that true greatness is forged in the unseen moments. The dark is a place where no one's watching. There's no crowd, there's no cameras, there's just commitment. The dark is a scary place for most because it's unfamiliar and it's uncomfortable. But at Wake Forest, we embrace those moments. It doesn't scare us, it strengthens us. We want players that love doing hard things. Guys that want to embrace the daily grind and the process and love to grow through life's challenges and adversities. Most players get bogged down by the light. The recruiting rankings, the stars, the money. The light is blinding and will lead you off the path. These players and this team thrive in the dark because they know the best version of themselves, and our team is built there. These players have embraced the challenge since day one, and I have 4 of these guys with me today. Demond Claiborne is a senior running back from King William High School in Virginia. He's one of the first players to say, "I believe in this new era of Wake Forest football." Demond is one of the most explosive players in the country. He's a returning All-American and a Doak Walker Award candidate at running back, and he will be earning his degree in December in communications. Nick Andersen is a senior safety from Centerville High School in Virginia. Nick's the great American story. He's a former walk-on. He turned himself into an all-ACC defensive back, and he's been a team captain last season. Nick has over 250 career tackles and 8 interceptions, but what defines Nick is his passion for the details of the game. Since day one, he's been a tremendous leader and change agent for our program. Next is Devin Kylany. Devin is a senior offensive lineman from Lake Stevens High School in the state of Washington. Devin and I have been on this journey for a long time together. I'm proud of him. He was a starting offensive lineman and a team captain during our time together at Washington State. There's not a greater person that has a better passion for this game than Devin, And it's been great to watch him just take hold of a leadership position as we build the new Wake Forest program. Davaughn Patterson is also with us today. He's a redshirt sophomore defensive back from Edward White High School in Florida. One of the most talented and athletic defensive backs that I've had an opportunity to work with, and he's locked in and ready for a great, tremendous football season. These guys are the four cornerstones of our football team. They have set the standard. They've demanded the best out of themselves and each other. Our team is fueled at competition at every position. I look forward to seeing that competition come to life this fall. We're excited about having 7 home games this season at a Legacy Federal Credit Union Stadium. And we can't wait to see Deacon Nation out at the August 29th football game. We look forward to building something really, really special with everybody, because the work you don't see in the dark creates the moments that we'll all never forget. That's the staple of this football program, and with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Coach, thank you. For those in the room and for those who are watching from home, we are happy to have with us in the room students from the Wake Forest Sports Marketing Immersion Program, 30-plus students from all over the country, high school students, and we have 2 of them that have decided that they would like to ask the head coach his first 2 questions. So we will go to the second row, Coach, just to your right.
Don't be nervous. You got this.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Carmen Turner. I'm a part of the Wake Forest Summer Sports Business Immersion Program. And my question is for you. How will you bring what you learned from the West Coast and transfer it here to the East Coast?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, if you really study our history at Washington State, we've been through some of the most adversity in the whole country that any football program has probably ever had to deal with. And the message is adversity is part of life. We've thrived in it. So to be shaped and molded as a young head football coach in that type of environment and create success, I thought was pretty special. And we developed a plan. Built in the Dark is a process. I believe it's a process that can work on the West Coast, East Coast, South, but we're here for a reason. Wake Forest is a special place. A lot of people want to talk about obstacles and why we can't do things. I think there's a tremendous opportunity right here in North Carolina to do something really, really special. And I think those are the lessons that we're going to bring here. It's a really fertile recruiting ground. We have one of the best educational institutions in the whole country. And I think it's a great fit for me and our family, and we're really excited to be here.
Your second question also, right there in the second row.
Hi, I'm William Mormouth with the Wake Forest Summer Immersion Program. Coach Dickert, how do you plan to sustain Wake Forest football culture with the constant turnover that the portal provides?
I think you have to have stability. I think you got to be willing to change and adapt with, the coming landscape and where we're going and what we're doing. And it takes guys just like this, guys like Demond that put a stake in the ground and say, I want to be here at Wake Forest, not just for the football, but what the value it creates for me and my life and my future. Demond is not just defined by his game and his athleticism. It's the man he is and the man that he wants to be in his future, and I think that's always going to be our edge. We got to know who we are better than most teams in the country. You're not going to come to Wake Forest for the flash. You're going to come here to do something really special in your education. You're going to come here to be built into a great football player, but most importantly, a great man, and I think that's the foundation that we stand on at Wake Forest.
Coach, right side still, third row.
Justin Jones, CarolinaGridiron.com. Built in the Dark is a powerful statement for the new era. What kind of tangible changes have you already seen in player buy-in and performance as a result?
It's funny, I take myself back often to the first team meeting. It was a really nervous atmosphere. Everyone was sitting there not knowing what to expect. The belief is different. You can feel it. You can feel it not just through our coaching staff. You can feel it through the players. You feel the energy of the building the moment you walk in the door. That's not something that's a poster on the wall. Built in the Dark is really about a process. Our purpose has to be greater than your purpose every Saturday. You got to know why you wake up in today's world. And I think we got a bunch of guys that are really driven to do something together. A connected team is a dangerous team. So how do you take 43 new players, 50-plus holdovers from the last staff, and build a team that can create success? You got to connect these guys in unique and different ways, and our guys have really embraced that. And I'm proud of them for it, and it will matter. But the season comes with tremendous highs and unfortunate lows, and you got to be able to handle that adversity. And I think that's what Built in the Dark really means. You embrace those challenges because you know that you're going to be strengthened by it.
Coach, follow the center aisle up and then to the right.
Connor O'Neill, Deacons Illustrated. Jake over here, waving
Straight
hands.
ahead, Coach, by the camera. Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got you.
Wake Forest has had a unique offense over the last decade or so. Power spread is going to be new. What does that look like? How does it define, or how would you define it without giving away any state secrets?
There won't be any state secrets. It starts with power. It's built at the line of scrimmage. You know, I believe physicality travels. You know, we are a national league. You better be able to walk into Texas, to the West Coast, anywhere up and down the East Coast, and be the more tougher football team. You know, it starts with physicality. You know, the best part, we got a guy like Demond Claiborne who, you know, if he can handle 40 carries a game, I think I'm up for that. But it's going to be about being more physical than your opponent and being very multiple at the quarterback position. You know, Wake Forest Demon Deacons haven't had a quarterback that's going to be a runner in quite some time. You know, so we're excited about the multiplicity of that position and how we have to do it as a team and as a unit. But when you can be physical and you can run the ball, it really opens up a lot of play action passes over the top and creates explosive plays.
Coach, left side, third row, hard towards the wall.
Hey, Jake, Tony Syracuse, Last Word on Sports. With all the changes in college football, roster limits being one of them, there's a lot to be said about walk-ons, and certainly Nick represents that. What can you say about the potential loss of walk-ons on a roster, given what someone like Nick has been able to accomplish in his career?
I think it's tough. I even go back to my Division III playing experience. You know, I tell these guys all the time, like, I got to experience something a lot of players don't, and just playing for the love of the game. Nick Andersen bet on himself. He bet on the belief in what he could do and what he could accomplish. And, you know, to lose some of those stories, I think is, you know, one of the tougher part of our game. You know, but we all have to navigate with that. And opportunity is everything. You know, I'm standing in front of you today because I've taken advantage of some amazing opportunities in my life. You know, like I said, I've been in this game for 17 years. I've moved 11 different times. I'm blessed to be here at Wake Forest, but, you know, opportunity is big, and unfortunately, we've lost a lot of those opportunities in college football.
Coach, to your right, second row.
Hi, Coach. Tom Shanahan from All Sports Discussion. I write a lot about college football integration in the 60s, including a story about Bill Tate passing away last month. The story got him zero attention nationally. I was wondering how much you've learned about how important that was, not only at Wake Forest, but nationally, what Bill Tate did, and with his first black players, Bob Grant and Butch Henry, if you could comment on that.
I think the biggest thing, Wake Forest has always been trailblazers in that area. You know, and I think it's really, really important, you know, to know and to understand the history of the place that you've been. So to see Wake Forest, you know, really be a trailblazer in that area, I think is very special. You know, one of the biggest things that, you know, drew me to Wake Forest is the stability of the coaches over a long period of time. You know, so to say that and to know that Wake Forest has been the cutting edge. I believe we had the first black assistant coach in the ACC. You know, so we've always been there. We've always been progressive, and we've always been able to adapt and change.
Coach, thank you for your time. You can switch places with Nick. Nick Andersen will be with us for the next 5 minutes.
Welcome back into ACC Football Kickoff. We were just listening to Coach Dickert talk about the Demon Deeks, and now his players are at the podium. So back inside we go with defensive back Nick Andersen.
To the left.
Nick, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just looking back on your history of being a walk-on, and then I believe you led the ACC last year with 122 tackles. From walk-on to scholarship to leading the entire conference, just your story and betting on yourself and your faith in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to consistent hard work. That's something that, you know, my family instilled in me when I was a young kid, and I'll take that for the rest of my life. And, you know, I've been very, very blessed to have so many great coaches. You know, I can't be standing here today without all of them, without all the people in my life. And so truly grateful for those that have helped me get to where I am now.
Nick, right side, third row.
Kenton Gibbs with Locked On ACC. Nick, you've had, you know, we know about the 122 tackle season, but also your redshirt freshman year, you had 4 interceptions in that season, which is not exactly common at Wake Forest. and even beyond that, the stitches in the ear, stitches on the chin, and all these bloody moments for you, and keeping the number 45, you're a true throwback player. What do you attribute that to, and how have you kind of maintained, like, hey, I'm this same guy that's going to go out there, bleed about it, die about it, because that's who I am?
Yeah, I think, going back to my family, just in my roots, come from a hardworking background, and then having a lot of pride in not only the name on the back of the jersey, but especially the name on the front of the jersey. And, after my freshman season, Mr. Curry told me don't ever change your number, so that was something I stuck with. But, I think just sacrificing your body is something that's infectious. Not the biggest guy, I'm not the fastest guy, but putting my body on the line each and every single game and every single day, I think it's a sense of leadership that my teammates appreciate, and something that is one of my leadership qualities that I hope others can follow and find inspiration from.
Nick, right up the center aisle there on your left, third row. Was that? I thought we had bounced to this area. Then let's bring it on down to him. Bad signal calling on my part, sorry.
Nick, Barry Lewis, Wake Forest on SI. Your defense is projected to have quite a few seniors on there, if not most. Talk about that and that leadership of what you all bring together to this team.
Yeah, I think it's something that's really valuable because you can have higher level conversations. I can go to someone like Quincy Bryan or Dylan Hazen in the linebacker core, and I can ask them, what happened on that play, or what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Those higher level conversations that we can have, will help our defense elevate, and it's something that's valuable. I think the biggest part is, when adversity hits. Those guys have been in the situation before. They understand that times are going to be tough, and how do you respond and deal with that is what's very important. So. That's something that's very valuable, and something that, helped me as a leader, that I have older guys as well that have been in that experience, know how to handle adversity.
We're going to stay on the left side, just go a little bit more to your left and one row back.
Cam Lemons, Demond Deacon Digest, 24/7 Sports. Nick, you've now gotten a full spring and summer learning underneath Scotty Hazelton and Freddie Banks. I know that Wake Forest defense has had their moments of both high end and low ends over the last couple of years. What's different about, with having these two new guys, with these two new voices in the room leading the charge?
It's a 300 level education. So much football knowledge. I've been around for, a couple years now, and I like to think that, I've built up a decent bit of knowledge, but these guys have opened my eyes to stuff that I've never even, could have even imagined. And so, I'm very thankful to have them, because they're just going to elevate my game, and I know they're going to get our defense to play at a really high level this year.
Nick, from the podium, stay with that just for a few minutes. You are the old man of the team, and they do say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. How are you adjusting? What is it about your process that allows you to adjust to so much change in a short amount of time?
Well, I think it starts with learning from, Coach Dickert, the new staff, and also, my teammates. My teammates are ones that, don't necessarily question when you tell them, hey, I think you should be doing this or doing that. They embrace feedback. They embrace, they want to get better. And so to have great teammates that want to get better and don't challenge you when you might be, just doing something and giving them constructive feedback is something that I'm really, really thankful for.
Other questions for Nick in the room? Nick, we'll ask another one from the podium here. What is it about your eye, your understanding of football, that allows you to get to that ball so quickly?
I think it's preparation, film study throughout the week, constantly trying to get an edge. Like I said, I'm not one that might have the greatest physical traits in the world, but so to have a two-step advantage based off film study and then just trusting my instincts is how I can get all the footballs that I want and make as many plays as possible.
Nick, thank you for your time. You and Demond can switch places, and we will spend a few minutes with our running back. And we will immediately, Demond, go to the left side, third row towards the wall. We'll take questions 1 and 2 from right there.
Hey, Demond, Tony Syracuse, last word on sports. Okay, so at his introductory press conference, Jake went public, saying priority number one. Matter of fact, within an hour after the press conference, he said, I'm meeting with Demond. Mm-hmm. right? What did it feel like to you to be such a priority to the new coach, and what did he say to you to get you to come back?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, when me and Coach Dickert met, it was solely off of, personal, can he help me on a personal aspect of life? A lot of coaches during that time when Coach Clausen, stepped down, were calling my phone asking, hey, we could give you this amount of money to come here, or we could do this for you. Coach Dickert came in and his message was, how can I help you as a man off the field? And so that's something that stuck out to me. And so when I first met him, I hit the ground running. I wanted to make a statement with him, and we made it happen.
Demond will stay right there, right to his right, or right there on the edge.
Katrina Sackins, Sports and Culture Media. Demond, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Two-part question for you. First off, when Coach Clausen stepped down as head coach, you stayed. What about Coach Dickert compelled you to stay with this program? And secondly, you have a 96 speed rating in Madden. You're tied with Ryan Williams as two of the fastest guys in the game. Mm-hmm. Is that an accurate representation of your real-world skills?
Yeah, I mean, with the speed thing, I think I'm a little faster than the 96 overall, but, I'll let the ratings be the ratings. But, when Coach Dickert came in, his energy that was the big difference I seen. Is the first team meeting when he came in, everybody's fired up. We got something called Wake the Deke, so we stand up every morning and we scream to the top of our lungs. So small changes like that is definitely what this program has been needing for a while. I felt like in the last couple of years since I've been here, it kind of got very strict and, couldn't really say much in meetings and stuff and speak up. But Coach Dickert gave the team a voice. It gave us a voice to want to be heard. He listened to where we was coming from and what we felt, and it ultimately made my decision easier to stay here.
Demond, swing to the right, third row.
Justin Jones, CarolinaGridiron.com. With the new coaching staff coming in, you got a new scheme. How do you see your role evolving in this offense, and do you think this new scheme is going to help you maximize your abilities as both maybe a rusher and a receiver?
Yeah, absolutely. This offense allows me to get out in space more, allows me to have more one-on-one matchups, allows me to broadcast my speed more, so the slow mesh is out. And so coming into this offense with a great mind like Coach Dickert and Coach Robbie Zell has definitely been something that I've been looking forward to continuing to grow with and continue to learn from. When the season comes around, a lot of people will be surprised about how things look.
Demond, center aisle, third person in to the left.
Hey, Demond, Barry Lewis, Wake Forest on SI. You've got a really good quarterback battle going on your team. What are you seeing from Ashford and Purdy that's helped you, and how do you see that working as the season starts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think both of those guys are great attributes to the Demon Deacons. When I step on the field with either one of those guys, I feel safe. I feel at home. They know what they're doing. They're very in tune. That battle has definitely been something that I've been it's been great to watch. It's been cool to be around. Adding either one of those guys to the new 10 would definitely be something that our program is needing, and in the long run, it would be beneficial for the Demon Deacons.
Demond, right side, fifth row, gentleman in the white shirt.
Brandon Pockers with the league winners. Coming off your really strong 2024 season, what has been your focus over these summer months in improving yourself, and what are you looking to accomplish in the 2025 season? Yeah, so my biggest goal is to stay consistent. Not really trying to step on the field and do too much. I want to play the game how the game is supposed to be played, listening to my coaches, following my coaching tips, techniques, just being in tune to the program, not making it about DC, but making it about the Demon Deacons and where we want to go when we get later into the season.
Demond, your last question from the podium. You grew up in a town of only 8,000 people in Aylett, Virginia. Describe what it was like growing up with such a small population.
Yeah, country. Really country. We had cows at my schools, chickens at my schools, turkeys at my schools, and so, growing up in that environment definitely was cool, but those country folks that teach you how to work and go get it. So that's definitely something that's embedded in me, and I'm ready to continue to roll with what I was taught coming from the country.
Demond, you're awesome. Thank you. You can switch places with Devin, and we'll finish out with our center. Remember, folks, a lot of...
All right, so that was Wake Forest players at the podium. You see their head coach, Jake Dickert, there getting everybody fired up. We're going to see what he has to say about this upcoming season. And, of course, after his press conference this morning, we're talking burgers, too. Stay tuned.